Spirituality makes everyday life go better. We're opening up to our intuitive side. The more spiritual we are, the more we can be guided in life. The more we have premonitions, so we're protected in life. These are the things that are the 12th insight at this point. We're all beginning to tune into this. It's the consciousness that was predicted by the Mayan calendar. Many other prophecies. The exciting thing is that it's happening in our time, and we can open up to spirituality as never before. Certainly, this calendar is very predictive and very, very accurate, but it does not in any way predict doomsday for 2012. In fact, it does the opposite. It describes and predicts a ninth wave of creation, a greater consciousness for humanity. It's the beginning of something, but it's not imposed. It's not a rapture or an ascension that's forced from the outside. It's something that we absolutely have to tune into, and this is what many people are seeking to describe. I seek to describe it in the 12th insight, how we're learning to tune in to this greater spiritual consciousness that's coming in and is closer, more available than ever before. The world is riddled with a lot of conflict, but the secret is to transcend the conflict, transcend the ideology that creates conflict, and return to integrity ourselves individually, so that we can tell the truth in service to other people, so that we can be transparent in our spiritual journey, what we've accomplished, what we've suffered through, what our dreams are. And if we communicate those truthfully, if we return from a world of corruption and deception and tell a radical truth in the service of others, then we open up a whole right side of our brain, a spiritual opening that gives us intuition and all these other fruits of the Spirit, clarity, centeredness in the spiritual life, and a knowingness of what to say to others to be helpful. So in this 12th insight, we're transcending the laws, the lies around us, and the corruption around us, and making things better by centering ourselves in a truthfulness and honoring truth as never before, so that we're a model. And the more we open up in truth, the truth sets us free. This is something that we've known intellectually, but we're putting into practice, finally. And as we do that, we rise to a greater influence and telepathically lift other people up into the same level of consciousness. Higher consciousness is contagious because we're hardwired to lift up in it. So as the ego diminishes, the higher self opens up. Our effect on other people is to bring them into this consciousness just by being there, and collectively we reach everyone out there in conflict and fear and ideology, and set a new field of reality. Enough of us have to decide to do this, though, but it's the only way to save the world. We can't have enough armies to do it. We can't have a big enough government to do it. We can't deceive our way through life. Deceiving your way through life is what has collapsed everything. It's falling apart all around us. Only radical honesty, opening up to spiritual wisdom offered as help to other people, creates this power of influence that can save the world. If we cultivate a radical truth, what we do is we open up to a guidance. Our ego diminishes, we allow ourselves to be guided in life. And that's the secret, because if we listen to our intuition, we talk to the stranger that we meet on the train, we call the client that we haven't talked to in a long time in our business, and they say, "Oh, you called me exactly the right time." These are the synchronicities that define the higher spiritual life. We sustain a flow of synchronicity if we're honorable over truth, honorable over money, honorable over everything in our lives, and we avoid deception at all cost in relating to other people. Life becomes magical. We're guided into our soul's dream and the accomplishment of our soul's dream. But this way of life has to be cultivated. We have to realize when we're telling a lie, when we're distorting to make ourselves look good, when we're distorting to make the sale in business, catching ourselves earlier and earlier until we can give up all distortion so that we tell the best truth we know in the service of other people and ultimately a service to making the world better. This is something that every person is learning to cultivate, and as the Mayans predict, this consciousness is close, so that it's never been easier to live in this manner and therefore create a culture around these values. Well, my experience and the experiences that I have heard from others is that angels very often are strangers, look like everyday people, arrive at just the right time to comfort us, to help us get through a problem, to move us to a higher level of faith and courage, confidence. I believe that they're a force in human life. They speak, they whisper in our ears, they provide the intuitions so very often that we need so that we know what to do to solve a problem, to make our lives go better. They are devoted to pushing forward human consciousness on this planet. Prayer is a human ability. All religious traditions emphasize this communication with the greater part of ourselves, this divine link that we have. And prayer is both a request for information, that the universe, that signals the universe that we're ready for this information. And prayer is also a affirmation of positive outcomes that we would love to see. So that the strongest prayer is the prayer that's most affirmative, most assuming that this good thing will happen, that is in fact grateful in advance. We're so sure and so faithful that something that we desire that is good will occur. So understanding that prayer is not just something that has come from religion, but something that is an innate human ability that we're rediscovering. And while the most intense affirmative prayer has proven to be the most effective, also the more people praying together, linked together. We have a global prayer project that is dedicated to these realities. And I believe it's something that has never been clearer for us as individuals as we proceed in life. I love the passion that Italians display. Their hearts are big, and while the women are more comfortable expressing it, and the men, like men everywhere, tend to hide it or distract themselves from it or pretend it's not there a little bit. That's true, but as a national consciousness, the Italian culture wears their heart outwardly, which is something that is a delight and a model, really, for those of us who live in other places. The message that I would like to deliver with the 12th insight is to reassure people that there is a continued evolution toward a greater spiritual consciousness in the world. And that in spite of everything falling apart or seemingly falling apart, it's important to realize that this is a restructuring where we have the ability to reform and bring a spiritual consciousness to all parts of humankind and human culture. And doing this, we both open up to this greater consciousness in a way that makes life go better. We have these guiding intuitions. We have these remarkable synchronicities that can come. We have this sense of mission, of personal truth we want to deliver. And never before has this been achievable to the extent it is right now. And perhaps all the challenges that we have in the world today, the conflicts, the weather, intense weather and geophysical problems, just are creating so much change so quickly that we have to rely on the inner spiritual life for guidance. And so it's building this new consciousness that only works with a return to integrity. That's why you see this talked about, authenticity, transparency, a return to integrity, because we know this is the only way to have this life. No deception, no shading of the truth. The honest, best truth we have in the service of other people opens this up. But never before have we had the language to talk about this. And it's the only way, it's the greatest way to have the most wonderful life in the world, because we're guided through our problems, guided through our challenges. We leave a job before it disappears and find another one. If it's cultivated, if we make the decision intentionally to come back to truth, then the world can become miraculous in an unbelievable way. And all this can be proved to oneself. Don't take my word for it or anybody else's. Prove it to yourself, and your life will become a dream.